Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. As many of you know, a group of us just returned from Israel, and I'd like to frame my Devar Torah in terms of that remarkable adventure that we experienced. The Torah portion is Balak, and it derives its name from King Balak, who instructs Balaam that Balaam should travel to Israel and he should bring curses upon Israel. And Balaam goes ahead and he does that. However, something very, very strange happens. As he's making his way, his donkey sees something. We now know it's a divine messenger. And the donkey stops in the middle of the path, middle of the road, and Balaam doesn't see a thing. And he's striking the donkey, and he's yelling at the donkey to move forward, but the donkey sees a divine messenger. It turns out, in time, Balaam sees what it is, even though the donkey's having this conversation with someone who seems invisible. And it turns totally around, upside down, because instead of Balaam bringing curses, Balaam then brings blessings. And one of the blessings we know very well, we sing this on Shabbat morning, Ma Tovu, how goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And that's one of the blessings from this portion. We feel so blessed that we were able to represent each and every one of you in Israel. And if you've never been to Israel, it's magical, it's mystical, and it's so much fun. But things happen in Israel all the time that seem so coincidental, and yet we say there are no accidents. Just to give you a couple, and I'm going to expand on these on Friday night, so you have to hear the rest of this, but at the Hebrew Union College, where we attended Shabbat services, and Peggy and I were called to the Torah for the first Aliyah, somebody in the congregation heard our name and saw me and rushed up to me after the service to say, "You converted me to Judaism 25 years ago, and you married us, and then we went to the West Coast, and I'm here celebrating our son's bar mitzvah. And the fact that I'm seeing you here is such an affirmation and so wonderful," so we posed for pictures. But those kinds of things happen all the time. Let me tell you something else that appears truly like a divine messenger. We were on top of Masada at the Beit Midrash, ready to have Harrison Breyer's bar mitzvah, Harry's bar mitzvah. And as we began the service and we're singing Hine Ma Tov, there were dozens and dozens of black birds that flew on the ledge, and they were there motionless until we started singing, and they sang with us, and they remained with us for the entire service, as if they were listening to every word, maybe more so than the people that I brought, but they were listening to every word. And then when Jimmy Sell sounded the shofar, at the end, they didn't fly away. And you know what? We all thought the same thing, that this somehow was a divine message, that these were divine messengers. And we all realized at the same moment that the black birds probably represented the soul of somebody who had touched our lives at one point. It wasn't my thought alone. It was the thought of everyone who was there. So we felt the presence of those who were very, very close to us. Sounds very mysterious, but in Israel, it all makes sense. So join us this Friday night, 7 o'clock. It's going to be sort of a laid-back, come-as-you-are service, and you'll hear a little bit more about Israel. And then if you want to pursue this fabulous Torah portion, which is so unusual, of the talking donkey, then join us for Torah study, which begins at 9:15 in our library. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, see you soon. It's good to be back with all of you. Bye-bye.